What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and let's talk about it. This is the truth behind the beef with Lil Wayne, Trick Daddy, and Birdman. How this Texas train go all heated up. Now, as we do with everything, we start from the beginning. Now, it was a normal day in Miami. And what's happening there is there's a lot of situations going on with all these out-of-towners in Atlanta coming to Miami and acting like they own it. Now, this is not necessarily Lil Wayne's fault, but when you have this going on or it's surrounding you and you like the biggest star at the time that's from New Orleans / Atlanta, Georgia. Everybody is from that lives there and from there, they're gonna get treated differently because you're the new it guy. So instead of them being mad at the people that's treating them that way, they more mad at the artist that's receiving all the accolades and all the love. So when Lil Wayne got there was a whole different mental mind state as to what was going on with Trick Daddy and his squad. Now, King of Diamond Strip Club in Miami, you know what I'm saying? That's where everything came to a head when Lil Wayne went there, doing what he do, and Trick Daddy people in there. Now, Lil Wayne is in there spending big money. He's got the strippers in there, and then one of the guys who used to get a lot of play and used to be somebody because he was, associated with Trick Daddy back in the day. And he's still associated with Trick, but they treated him differently. And he probably would have been treated like a star if Lil Wayne wasn't there. But Lil Wayne's there, he's throwing bigger money, so they're catering more towards Lil Wayne than him. Now, Wayne is a very smart individual. He don't really start nothing with anybody. But he's not a punk either, So this guy decided, man, look at this chump walking around here. And he flicked a cigarette at Lil Wayne's braids. Flicked it at his head. And I think one of them hit his braids or something. And Wayne was ready to fight. The security had to grab Wayne and all this stuff, so it was like, tension right away. Now, what happened was this Trick who wasn't there got linked into a situation where he was banned because it was like, oh, he attacking Lil Wayne, so all these nightclubs wouldn't let Trick Daddy in, and he lived it. Trick tried to get into a club, and the club wouldn't let him in. So all these major spots is going on where all the parties at, and it's like, do not let Trick Daddy in. Trick Daddy cannot come in, him and his friends. They had orders for that. And it was like, how could you blackball Trick Daddy? So now Trick is upset with these promoters that he was like, I brought a lot of money. I brought everybody to Miami. It was Trick and Luke. That's like bar and Luke. From all the clubs and parties, you can't do that. So it was going to be a problem for anybody that was going to participate and think they was just going to cut him out the pie or cut him out the party. So Birdman heard about the situation, heard about what was going on, and said, I'm going to schedule a sit down with you and Lil Wayne, and then y'all can talk it out and work it out. Because Birdman had respect and they did business together, him and Trick. So he had no problems with Trick Daddy. You knew internet fans, you guys might not have known that. And I'm not mad at you if you didn't. I'm just saying they had business together. So it wasn't feasible for him to want to mess up with somebody he's done business with. So they worked it out where him and Wayne had to be able to speak man to man or whatever and sit down and meet. So I don't think Wayne ever sat down with him at that time, or he was busy, but they did work it all out. So everything was squashed and everybody was back cool with it. So from that standpoint, there was no beef. And then Lil Wayne and Birdman had a falling out, which we all know about, we've all done it. So Lil Wayne has a fallout with Baby. Trick, who been basically showing all this love to MMG and Ross and Wayne, now all of a sudden he going up against Birdman. Talking about Birdman need to be doing his job and do all that, and I'm like, huh? Now you flipping script? Now you over there, Trick? I understand they keeping you in the limelight and you trying to get back so you can get your back to the game and your hustle on, but Birdman never did nothing to you, bro. And that's the truth. And he know that. Birdman had never crossed Trick Daddy, not one time. They never had an issue. So for him to go to the Breakfast Club was to basically talk about Baby like that, was just him on a public stage defending Wayne and getting involved in that. Like a lot of people shouldn't have done. And it caused a lot of problems with a lot of, people in between, like family members, because y'all gotta remember something. Birdman, it was like almost like his legal guardian when they was out. He was a little guy. So they both have children, both of the children, they all know each other. So the kids are affected because they're all over social media. Nobody wants to hear anybody talk about their parents bad, but yeah, that comes with the territory. So you hear all this stuff, and the kids is like, "Why I can't play with them no more? Like that's not my friend no more. Like what's going on? And y'all gotta talk." So they became more friends as far as we're gonna do this until we work everything else out business wise, but we're gonna still be cordial and be a family. We still gonna be cool with each other. And after that debacle, they tried to put a hit on him and all that stuff with Young Thug, crazy manager. He really needed to say, look, we got to patch this up because this is getting crazy. So, after this incident blew over, you would have thought it was done. But Charlemagne had to bring it up on the show. Rick Ross came on the same show, same platform, disrespecting Birdman, calling him a crook, and he don't like the way he did Lil Wayne. Now, did Birdman do Lil Wayne dirty? No. He was just inexperienced in how to deal with certain situations at the time. And instead of being the manager / advisor trying to see which way you can get the most money out of it, you have to also look at the fact that you have to protect, you were like the manager to him. So you got to protect Lil Wayne and make sure that he's taken care of. He doesn't know about taxes. He don't know about markups and how much he got to pay and the actual company and all this. He needs someone to explain to him what's just happened. Because now he and don't understand why. He couldn't get his advance money to pay his artists. A lot of problems going on over there. So while they legally trying to fight this out for tens of millions of dollars, I'm glad they were able to sit down for the children's sake and say, look, we still going to be a family, we're going to just handle business the way we got to, and it's just business, and this is personal. So for the kids out there who thought there was a major beef between Birdman and Trick Daddy, it wasn't. And it all stemmed from him getting involved in the Lil Wayne Birdman situation. The Birdman bridged the situation between him and Lil Wayne. I'm out.